Alright lads, how's it going? So I want to talk to you guys today really quickly about Call of Duty 2021. So recently we got confirmation during Activision's latest earnings call talking about the future of Call of Duty and whatnot, and they confirmed that there will be a new game this year. Now I wanted to share some of my opinions on this because we don't really know too much about the game at all. We don't know anything about the game at all. As per usual, it'll be around April, May time that we'll start hearing about things. We'll probably hear about what developer is working on it around March time, and then we'll start getting teaser trailers and that sort of stuff a wee bit later on. But if Cold War was anything to go by, then we might hear about it a lot later on. Last year's reveal and teaser trailers for Cold War was a lot later than usual. It was actually slightly more concerning last year because it felt like we were going to get a largely delayed Call of Duty game, and it felt like they were scrambling to get stuff in a presentable state. And obviously with the way Cold War's gone so far, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I feel like they were struggling to get that game ready to present to people, and the gameplay that they showed off wasn't exactly the most spectacular. The game is solid, it's playable, but in terms of comparing it to Modern Warfare, the predecessor to Cold War, it definitely did feel like it's a step back in terms of quality and finish. And I feel like this year is the perfect opportunity for Call of Duty to just go, right, we're just going to take a year off, not make a Call of Duty 2021, because they've got 3 games right now that are doing insanely well. They've got Warzone. Now I'm going to class Warzone as its own game because the amount of content that gets added into Warzone in comparison to Cold War and Modern Warfare itself, it feels like it is a separate entity. Like Warzone just is in its own bubble, you know, like there's no point in saying that it's part of Modern Warfare, because technically it may be, but it feels so detached from Modern Warfare at this point. There's no point in saying that it's the same game. It's its own thing. So 3 games: Cold War, Modern Warfare, Warzone. It's 3 games that are doing insanely popular right now as well. I have been playing a little bit of Modern Warfare recently, and Modern Warfare is doing very well. It's not hard to find lobbies on that game at all. Even when you're playing at off-peak times like 3 o'clock in the morning in the UK, it's still easy to find matches, and it still runs very smoothly. You know, like it's not like the older Call of Duty games where they'd have servers running for the current game. When the current game goes out of its life cycle and a new one releases, they cut the server support for that one and it goes to peer-to-peer connections and stuff. It feels like Modern Warfare still has its own dedicated servers, which obviously you can't be expect at this point considering the amount of cash that Activision are raking in off these games. But Modern Warfare still gets a lot of technical support. There's still a lot of players on the game, so it's still very much playable, and I anticipate it will be playable for years to come. Unlike some of the older Call of Duty games at this point. I was playing Black Ops 3 last night, and it's actually running into hackers on BO3, and some people have said that they've ran into hackers on Blackout and whatnot, so the other games are getting a little bit more hacked, but these last 2 games have been very much unhacked, and I don't think that people are going to be able to run hacks on them, except from Warzone itself, because obviously people are allowed to get hacks on that game. You're not allowed to, but there's no anti-cheat, and Activision aren't doing a very good job of stopping the hackers, considering they banned 60,000 accounts recently, which really only signifies how poor their anti-cheat is if 60,000 is a number that they've managed to crush recently, and that is only 60,000 recently. I don't think that was an up-to-date number from the very start of Warzone. If you had to guess from the very start of Warzone, there probably would be millions of accounts banned. And it's just quite sad that, but anyways, I just feel like this is a perfect opportunity for them to just go, right, we've got 3 games out right now that are doing very well, we could just skip out and releasing a game for a year, polish it up a little bit more, which is something I think they really should do. Because as I said, Cold War, it's a decent enough Call of Duty game, but I feel like the original content on offer from Cold War is fairly lackluster. The story was okay, but the story feels quite rushed, and it feels like just a polar opposite version of Black Ops 1's campaign, where instead of being an American that gets brainwashed by the Russians, you're a Russian that gets brainwashed by the Americans, and it feels very similar to Black Ops 1 storyline, and that's about it. You know, there's not much interesting going on in the Cold War storyline, except for one mission in the Kremlin, which was just absolutely incredible, and it felt like something at Hitman, but really, aside from that, there wasn't much remarkable about the Black Ops Cold War campaign. So for this year, I'd like to see them just take a year off, but obviously we know it's not going to happen, so I'm just spitballing at this point. So I'd like to see them take a year off, polish their game up more, make it a game that's worth playing for everybody, because no Call of Duty player wants to fork out £60 for a brand new game to find out it's not really a brand new game. It just feels like the last Call of Duty game, or it feels like a downgrade from the last Call of Duty game, and it doesn't feel all that spectacular as it should. And that's something I really want from this next Call of Duty game. I want to be blown away. Modern Warfare did a decent enough job of doing that with me. Like, Modern Warfare in comparison to Black Ops 4, Modern Warfare felt insane. BO4, I like the way things worked in that game, but when it comes to comparing the two games, Black Ops 4 is quite low down, and then Modern Warfare just cranks up to 11. Like, that game was just so full on. The graphics were insane, sound design is top notch, the way the weapons are, the way the characters are, it's all just stuff that is very well done in that game. And you can tell that they used that 3-year gap between Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare very wisely, and it's something I'm very happy about. And obviously, last year's Call of Duty game, which was Cold War, was meant to be Sledgehammer's turn, and obviously I think Treyarch had to take over for Sledgehammer, so who knows if they actually still have their own project that they're working on, or if Cold War was what Sledgehammer were working on originally. Obviously it wouldn't have been a Black Ops game, but there is a chance that it could have been something that Sledgehammer were working on and Treyarch had to take over. But hopefully Sledgehammer have a game that they've been working on that will be playable by this year, that will be good, and it will be worth the $60 investment or £60 investment if you're from the UK. I personally, now this is where people are probably going to disagree with me here, but I would personally like to see a Advanced Warfare 2. Now my reasoning behind this is because at the current moment we have 3 Call of Duty games which are ticking the right boxes for everybody. They do satisfy a lot of different people. Obviously there are some people that don't like both games or Warzone, and they're kind of in the minority. I mean, I didn't really like both of them at first, but now I'm starting to grow on them. I'm starting to like Cold War a tiny little bit. I'm not going to say I'm amazed by it or anything, but I really do respect Modern Warfare a lot more now. And I'm actually starting to enjoy playing that game every now and then. But it comes down to, I'd like Advanced Warfare 2 to become a thing, because then it would give us the perfect balance of a triple, or the perfect trio of Call of Duty games, because you'd have past, present and future. Obviously Modern Warfare is being the present, you'd have Cold War being the past, and then you'd have Advanced Warfare 2 being the future, and that's something that I think would work very, very well. A lot of people have been asking for this. People have been saying for years since Advanced Warfare that they think all 3 developers should have their own given time period. Treyarch should have the past, Infinity Ward should have modern, and then Sledgehammer should have the future, because they've done a really good job for Advanced Warfare. And I feel like they have a springboard into the future with that series. They could probably make more games in that series, and there'd be a lot more things that they could do with it. Obviously they still had Exo Zombies in that game, so they could bring that back. I'm not going to say Exo Zombies was amazing. I really did like it, but a lot of people didn't like it. Exo Zombies could continue, and obviously that would be your zombies mode that's guaranteed to make bank, because people enjoyed Exo Zombies. Not as much as Treyarch Zombies, but there was a lot more love for Exo Zombies than there was for Zombies in Spaceland and Infinite Warfare. But there's a lot of things in Advanced Warfare that people really did enjoy. Obviously there's a lot of things we don't want to return, like the stat changing variants. They could bring back the variants like as they were, but just cut the gameplay changing features, like Bal 27 Inferno, where that ups the fire rate by 2 and it turns the thing into an absolute bullet hose. Obviously we wouldn't like to see things like that come back, but it's a perfect opportunity for them to bring back their epic variants and their rare variants and have them retain the same aesthetics that they had. Obviously each weapon had its own individual style. The Obsidian Steed had some gold with some accents on it, and then the Inferno is a little bit more rugged and battle worn looking. That's something that they could bring back, and just bring back all the unique aesthetics between all the variants, and that's all they do. Something they could do really well with that game, I do believe. But overall I'd just like to see a continuation of Advanced Warfare, and obviously if you don't like Advanced Warfare 2, then that would be perfect for you, because you could just go back and play Modern Warfare, or you could play Cold War, or you could even play Warzone if that floats your boat. So it's a perfect time to do that. It's a really good experiment I think Activision should pull out on, because it means that there's something there for everybody. There's past, present and future, and there's Warzone as well. So it's just a perfect golden opportunity for Activision, but the question is if they're actually going to capitalise on it. There's a very good chance that they probably might not, just going off of the reactions of Advanced Warfare in the first place, and the bitter taste it left in a lot of players' mouths. A lot of people didn't enjoy it, but there's a lot of things that they could do better this time around, and as I said, it'd be the perfect time to have 3 games that would tick the boxes for everybody, and that's just what I'd like to see. So yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Leave your opinions in the comments below. What do you guys think? Would you like to see an Advanced Warfare 2? I know I would. I'd rather see Advanced Warfare 2 than another World War 2 game from Sledgehammer. That's what I'd like to see personally. Don't know if many of you guys are going to agree with it. Some of you might, but most of you probably won't. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Leave a like and subscribe if you've enjoyed the video. There will be many more videos on the way shortly. And I hope you all have a good day, boys. Stay safe, everybody. Peace.